following up a fairly decent start to this series last go around that did see some wins, some losses, and the question being asked of can an offense win you the championship? That is where we continue on today. Now, we finished last episode watching a little bit of the Chiefs game, and we're going to start this episode by watching another Chiefs game. Not all of it. Again, we're going to start with the quarter sim. See how we get into the second half, possibly fourth quarter, and kind of go from there. And these teams are really the polar opposites of each other. The Chiefs, they only have an 81 offense, but an 87 defense. Meanwhile, we have an 89 offense and a 73 defense. So clearly, there's a lot of work for our defense to do. And we did take a look to see what possible trades we could make, and there was maybe one that we could have done, but I don't think it's all too necessary for season 1. That seemed a little bit more like a season 3 kind of move. So we're going to continue on here from week 8 without making any trades and just see how season 1 goes, which we will be wrapping up at least the regular season, depending on how this episode goes, maybe some postseason action. We are third in the AFC West to kick things off. The Chiefs, first team we're playing, they're 5-2, so it's a really important game here. So we're going to jump in, quarter sim, and see how it goes. So as we get this game underway, Chiefs score first, 7, make it 14-0, and we don't find any points that first quarter, though. It looked like we were driving late. So as we continue on here, we do find a touchdown, 14-7, answering back with only a field goal as the Chiefs also get a field goal. And another one for us right there before half. So it's close. We'll go through the third quarter as we have a 17-13 ball game. Driving down, but a stop towards the end. No points in that third quarter. So still a 4-point game, and let's slow it down a little bit. See how the rest of this drive continues with 17 yards, Adam Thielen. Down inside the 25 and 16 more, Gesicki. Inside the 10 and a touchdown for Kareem Hunt. The extra point will make it 11 points. So we're going to need our offense to answer back here quickly because we need multiple scores. P. Ryan picks up 6. We are missing a couple different guys. Mixon in this game is out. As we pick up 8, we need 6 here on third. And it's only 5. Now, typically this year, we've been running P. Ryan at fullback, but that's not the case, obviously, with the Mixon injury. So it's going to be P. Ryan with a first down on 4th. A big gain lowers the shoulder to the 50, though an injury for Lane Johnson on the play. Potential shoulder, maybe collarbone injury. He'll just head to the sideline for now. But with that big play getting us to about midfield, let's watch this drive. See if we can end with a touchdown as Murray from the pocket goes across the middle and knocked away, intended for Chenault Jr. He very much solidified himself as the main receiver for us last go-around, though we do have Marvin Mims Jr., who we would like to see get going, as we have a deep shot for Chenault again, this one overthrown. Just need to clean up that accuracy a little bit there. Should have been the big play with a 3rd and 10, still sitting at about the 50. Murray from the pocket across the middle does find Marvin Mims. Speeding to the outside, he's at the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Marvin Mims Jr., the rookie. Gets this thing at least a little bit closer. Still need a few more points, but a heck of a play on 3rd down. And it looks like we're going for it here. 2-point conversion, but the instant pass rush, no problem. Murray shakes it, steps up. It's a field goal game here in the 4th quarter. But this does not look good. It's going to be a kick return, though we have 24 who's not going to get there. Chiefs with Darius Phillips answer back immediately. Absolutely killer. This game very well could dictate how the rest of this season goes, barring any miraculous streak of games for us winning and the Chiefs losing. We need big plays here as the sack comes in and an interception by Xavier Howard. Well, there was a lot of hope there after that touchdown from Marvin Mims, plus the 2-point conversion, but it's about faded here, though they went for it there on 4th, and they did not get it. Defense forces the turnover on downs. Howard knocks it away. We're still down 10 points, picking up not the first down there, actually 3rd and inches, which we get with Kyler Murray. There's about 3 minutes left in this one. We need another touchdown and a field goal. Pringle picks up 10, 1st and 10, a sack DJ Reader. 2nd and 17, we pick up 9. 3rd and 8, we pick up 8 in the first, down to about midfield. I think it's time to jump in. Perfectly timed there with a 2-minute warning. Again, we need 10 points here. We have all 3 timeouts. Gonna need a touchdown, either a onside or a quick stop on defense as we go to the halfback screen. Flag comes in late. I didn't see a face mask, but apparently I just need to get my prescription changed because there was a face mask there. Instant first down for us to the 30. Swinging it out wide, intended for the backup running back, though we will not find him. Akuda there to easily knock that one away. 2nd and 10 with that split backfield. Will be Murray from the pocket. Waiting, has a receiver up top, does not throw it, and instead a sack by Bosa. Timeout called, 3rd and 17. As it will not be split back this time. Just 2 up top, I think 2 down to the bottom as well. Murray going deep, had Chenault, but it's out of bounds once again. Just these accuracies a little bit off, but he put it where only his guy was gonna get it. And it looks like we're going for it here. Take the field goal. Then you take the onside, needing a touchdown. Instead, we need to get the first down here. We set up the halfback screen, and Murray checks it into the dirt. Or at least it would be the dirt if they changed the field. I actually don't know if Denver uses turf or real grass. I don't know. You let me know. But either way, it looks like this is going to be another Chiefs win. Unless we could force a quick turnover here, as it's an easy run right down the middle. First down past midfield. Hunt has done well. From at least the broad picture that we've seen today, Chiefs will get another victory, sweeping us this season. But unfortunately, Madden did that broken thing where it doesn't actually recognize the end of the game. So we're gonna have to quit out. No end screen animations here for us, but we do drop to 3 and 5. But in the following week, we bounce back with a massive win against the formerly 8-1, now 8-2 Buffalo Bills as we get the win 35-28. It was a close game, but we went for over 400 yards on offense, though we did give up close to that 400 mark as well. So some good, some bad for sure. Kyler Murray was a player of the week with over 300 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks given up, 81% completion. Hurts still had a pretty good game as he was a little bit under 300 himself. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, though we did sack him twice, and he only completed 63% of his throws. Mixon back in this one, about 3 yards a carry, nothing splashy. He did have a touchdown, but arguably, Hurts had a better day than him. Also, Johnson, one of their backup running backs, also had a better day. So running game hasn't been as good as I expected it would. Though Chenault Jr. had a great game, 123 on 7 catches and a touchdown. But the man of the hour was Marvin Mims Jr. with 121 on 10 catches, 3 touchdowns. Love to see that. Great for his development. Cooper did have a good game, same for MVS. Across the board, I mean, they had a lot of receiving talent, so I think our DBs did all right. As for defense, it was Tranquil who led the team, or both teams in tackles with 13. And it's actually a little bit down the line for us. Kenneth Murray did lead us with 8. Tackles for a loss. We did give up a little bit here. Carl Lawson with 2 as well as Jalen Carter. But we did see 2 with Jordan Phillips. And a couple more down the line. Gibson had 1. And Winfrey, who did get a start, I think, at DT because we've had a couple injuries, some practice injuries crop up. And there was an injury in that game specifically. We did get a couple sacks. We saw the 2. They both went to Gibson. So he's doing really well in that solo rush spot. Though it was not a great game kicking, decent at least for the extra points. Crosby hit all 5, but he did miss his one and only field goal. Now, as I mentioned, there was the injury, and it was a significant one. Mike Pennell, who's already 32, he suffered a dislocated ankle. He's going to be out 5 weeks. So we're going to have to hope that some of these younger guys can step up and play well. Now, we don't have any sort of division games for a little while. The next 3 are going to the Vikings, Browns, and Texans. So I think we're going to jump through those rather quickly as really it's a battle in division right now. Hopefully we do well out of division so we can make the division a little bit closer. But we need to get some wins against some division rivals. We are 2 games, actually no, 3 games back from the Chiefs. I think they have a late bye, and we're 2 back from the Chargers. So we need some games to go our way. But that stretch of games wouldn't be all too favorable for us, as we lost to the Vikings by 10, 31-21. A close loss to the Browns, 25-24. And that one was what looks like we gave it up. We gave it up in the fourth quarter. 15 points given up there, so that one unfortunate. But we did bounce back at least against the Texans, 31-14. Which leaves us with 2 games left against the Chargers, and then some non-divisional games with the Lions and Patriots, and then wrapping up against the Raiders, the same team we opened up the season with. So, potentially, if we say all of the divisional matchups are wins, that would be 3 to add to the tally. Also would mean 2 less, or 2 no wins, 2 losses, wow, for the Chargers. But we are currently 3 below the Chargers. And it looks like the Chiefs are running away with this division currently, at least compared to the Broncos and the Raiders. So us and the Raiders. Chargers maybe have a chance. So this game is pretty important once again. So let's jump into a little bit of some quarter sim. See if we can make it a game, get a win. Then we're going to need the second Chargers game to go our way. Also the Lions and Patriots, and maybe week 18 is a possible play-in opportunity. So that is the plan moving forward for this episode. Now let's see who gets off to the fast track here, or arguably a slow track as the first quarter ends 3-0. Continue on here, Chargers in front. That stays the case so far, as they will actually raise it 10-0 and no points for us before half. We'll continue on through the third quarter, needing to find a touchdown here, and we do find it. 7-10 as we enter the fourth quarter. So once again, let's slow things down a little bit here. We're in possession, and well, we're down inside the 15. Trying to at least tie this game, or hopefully actually take a lead here in the fourth quarter. Hard count, no one jumps. Kyler from the pocket, waiting, steps up. He has a lane to the end zone, and he dives forward instead of sliding into the end zone. Our Broncos take a lead. Or I suppose a little bit more aptly so, our Central Plains take a lead, as it's a 3rd and 8 after the 2-yard loss and a knockaway by Witherspoon. 4th and 8, we force the punt. Now we just need to run out some clock. As we do, we are starting Preston Williams. Forgot to update you guys on that. Switched out Byron Pringle for Williams. He's a little bit younger, so we'll see how well he does as Queen knocks the ball away. 3rd and 3. So far, I'd say pretty good. 16 yards first down, then a throwaway. 2nd and 10. 8 more yards, Joe Mixon. Past midfield, getting the first down with a 4-yard rush. Letting this clock continue to run. As we're in plus territory, Eric Gray out there, getting a little bit of some splits between the running backs. I have at least 3 getting touches, as McBride gets a touch himself. We get inside the 20. We'll jump in here, 1st and 10, and well, that'll do it. Trying to put this game away late here. We have a 4-point lead. With a bunch down to the bottom, Murray from the pocket, waiting. We'll dump it off and overthrows a wide open target. I didn't quite see the number there. Potentially that was maybe Preston Williams. Not sure. 3rd and 4. Needing the first down here. Murray with a quick throw. Does have Mixon cutting towards the top. Not into the end zone, but down to the 2. With one last timeout remaining here for the Chargers. I'm fine with a gain of nothing here, as it will not quite be a gain of nothing. Instead, touchdown, as Joe Mixon shucks off the tackler, giving us a 2-score lead late. We currently sit outside of the wild card looking in, and if we could secure a win here today, that would be huge, as Gibson gets another sack. 2nd and 18, they pick up 13. Metcalf, 3rd and 4. A throwaway from Burrow, and they go for it and do not convert. We take over, about a minute left, and start kneeling out the clock here. Should not have any time, and they will not. A big win for us in our hopes to claiming that last wild card spot. We get the win versus a division rival Chargers, who are above us. Massive. But in our last remaining non-divisional games, we would split, including a really bad loss to the Lions, 21-9, but a really big win against the Patriots. They currently hold the 7th seed, or at least did hold the 7th seed going into this game. 24-20, so that game really big. But with 2 more remaining, one against the Raiders, they are below us. You would hope that's a win. And against the Chargers that we just beat 21-10. 2 games left, and we currently are 2 games behind the Chargers. If we were to win both these games and the Chargers lose both of their last games, we would have the tiebreaker over them and a chance to make the playoffs. As it currently sits right now, the Chargers are the 5th seed. Even though we beat the Patriots, they're actually somehow up to the 6th seed. They jumped after a loss. Weird to me. Titans are the 7th, so we have to play near perfectly to finish off this season for a chance at the playoffs, and it would be with a 9-8 record, the same that the Virginia's States Only Challenge did make the playoffs in season 4. We all know how that one ended. Thank you, Madden. But there's a chance here. We just need a win here versus the Los Angeles Chargers once again. But we would fall in what seems like a late game field goal. 27-25. The Chargers get the win. After they put up 10 in the 4th, we only put up 8. It was a close game, but one that we did obviously lose. It was a pretty decent battle here, but like nothing showy really with the quarterbacks. Their rating or stats across the board very similar. I mean, yeah, extremely similar. Mixon had a good game, 8 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. We did decently well against Kamara, though he did have 2 touchdowns as well. In the receiving game, it was Trey McBride who put together the good one. Pittman Jr., solid performance out there. And for us, no one else really showed up, though we did get a touchdown to Chenault Jr. As for the defense, Zaven Collins led both teams 12 tackles. Tackles for a loss was very much in our favor, though no one had multiple, just 1 for a handful of players. But we did get multitude of sacks here. Agba had 2 by himself. We did give up 1.5 to Judon. Okoronkwo had 1. And then we split between Phillips and Witherspoon. And we did not miss any kicks, so it wasn't like a field goal that was missed by Crosby could have possibly sent us to the playoffs. So that leaves us here, week 18, in a game where there's no playoff win, or no playoff ends for either of these teams. The Raiders 4-12, us at 7-9. Even if we get the win, which, obviously we're going to want to get the win here in the final week, it was still a much better season than what we saw as the average season for the last States Only Challenge. So that is at least good to see. But we're going to put in as many of the young guys as possible in this one just to see, hey, if anyone has any shot at making a run at the starting spot compared to maybe some of the older veterans. We'll see how they do as we wrap out season 1. And we'll be getting this week 18 show underway on offense. Most of the offensive line is going to be the same. We do have a new guy in at left guard, and we do have Gray getting the start at running back. Besides that, not much to really shift or change out on offense because we don't have a whole lot of young guys that either are depth or aren't already starting. Though we do have the rookie tight end in Willis who is going to get the start over McBride, just a second-year player, so we might rotate them a little bit depending, but Gray with a halfback screen picks up the first down as an injury comes in for Romeo Aquara. Doesn't look to be a massive injury. He's just got to head to the bench for now. Hate to see injuries in week 18, or really at any time. As Gray trying to find some space down the middle, the line at least pushes forward for a gain of 2. We'll see how well the backup running backs work in this game because there are 3 or 4 available prospects in the next draft class at running back. So if these guys don't play well, who knows? They could be replaced as we have a 3rd and inches following the Murray scramble. but we'll stay spread wide. With 3 up top, 1 down to the bottom, it will be a pass going for Willis, who holds onto it, breaks off the contact as well. First down to about the 40. Still have our bookend tackles out there, so we should see good blocking. But honestly, it's kind of been hit or miss at times as we pick up 8 on first down. Really excited to take a look at the stats at the end of this game for the whole season and just see how well that offensive line did, because we spent a lot of early fantasy drafts on them. As the ball pops out, it's Mims. I think we might have recovered. And indeed we do. Mims took a shot there, but luckily it goes back to us. 3rd and 1. As it will be Gray with some good blocking, just tries to find that one gap needed, and he picks up the 1 yard needed as well. We are rocking the all-white unis today with the throwback helmet, the white cap. I don't know exactly what they call it, but I do believe the Denver Broncos, as we don't get the catch intended for Pringle. But the Broncos are definitely next up in line for some new unis after the Cards got theirs last offseason. Broncos they look like mid-2000s unis. We need something fresh here, as it's a 3rd and 11, loss of 1 on the pass. And as we typically do, staying out in spread with 2 stacked to the top, another 1 plus a tight end to the bottom. Murray stepping up, he's gonna look to scramble, tried to juke by the superstar edge guy there in Ramsey, but he got the sure tackle. So after some steady moving, we slow up and we will be taking the field goal attempt here from about the 31, make it a 41-yard attempt. And it's right down the middle. We grab an early lead here, 3-0. But now it's time for Justin Fields and this Raiders offense to head out. We did pretty well against them to open this series. Look to see if we have the same success though. Mike Evans with a nice grab there picks up 13. If I remember correctly, the very first play of this series was about a 21-yard catch and a run to Mike Evans, so technically slightly better there. As we have some pass rush, though, Fields steps up, throwing it deep downfield, but a little too tall for his intended target. We are seeing a much more heavy rotation here on the defensive side compared to the offense. All about rookie to 3rd-year players out there, as there's some wide open spaces towards the top for a big gain. Derrick Henry, 20 yards. The only group that's really staying the same is the linebackers and the safeties. Now that's because we don't really have any younger linebackers to put out there, and the safeties, they're already both rookies, so can't get younger than that. With a shot downfield, once again broken up. Our free safety Yeast there to help knock it away. With a 2nd and 10, Fields goes under center. Be a strong eye handoff, Henry down the middle. Gets stood up by Murray, though. It's still going to be a good gain of 7. And on 3rd and short, they'll come out spread wide. An empty set for Fields. Sitting in the pocket, quick throw across the middle, intended on a slant route, but it was not close. So after a couple chunk plays to help him get him down here, it's going to be another field goal attempt, this one about a 43-yarder. To try to tie this game up, and it is up and through. Game level here, 3-3. Now as we continue on here, we'll jump into kind of a jump in past the 50 or around the 25, kind of depending on where we are throughout the game, as we don't go anywhere on this drive. Going to be a 3 and out, punting away. Raiders take over around the 40 with a nice play 1, picking up 11 inside the 2nd quarter now. They pick up 9 with a first down. 2nd and 10, drop by Parker. 2nd and 10, 3 yards Fields. 3rd and 7, they get close, but not close enough. Should be another field goal attempt that they miss. We'll take over at the 34 then. Picking up 11, Chenault Jr. 1st and 10, 7 to Gray, crossing midfield. A first down from Kennedy Brooks, getting some rushes out there. Back to Gray. Like the rotation we have with the running back group, as we have another 3rd down here, which we convert, and why not jump in from here? At the 31, it's a shotgun look with the tight end down to the bottom, a bunch of receivers up top. They will play action, going out to the tight end, that's Willis. Not quite for the first down, about 9 3/4 yards. Though the tip of that ball looks like it's past the line of gain to me. Either way, 2nd and inches with that same look. We do hand it off Gray, looking for a cutback lane, but it's going to be a loss. About 1.5 yards there, though. They only mark it a 3rd and 1. I don't know about the line marking crew here today. But we need the first down as we come out with a strong eye. P. Ryan at fullback. It will be a play, or not even play action, a straight up pass to the bottom. Chenault Jr. gets the catch and the first. Just feel like these unis could be so much nicer if it didn't have that side stripe. Just go with the shoulder stripes like everyone else seems to be doing. This is going to be a dump off to Gray, who will power through the first guy, picking up at a couple yards there after contact. We'll say as the 3rd running back, he's been doing pretty solid so far. With a 2nd and 7, we go back to that I form. Have a pulling guard slowing down Gray. Couldn't hit the gap even though it was wide open there. So as the 2-minute warning hits, it's loud here down by the red zone. 3rd and 7, or I say in the red zone, not really by it. Halfback screen with blockers in front. It's looking like a touchdown for Gray. Found the opening, fought through. One defender there in Sutton. The noise not a problem here. Touchdown for the Broncos. So far, it does feel like the Central Plains State's only challenge just has a much higher ceiling coming off that Virginia's. As it's a pass play 1, they do find their target this time in Thomas. I want to say that's Michael Thomas. As it's a 1st and 10, about at the 33, maybe 34. Fields looking to scramble up top, has space, we do not contain, and he will dive into the knee of the defender. We'll pick up 4. Luckily, no concussion there. With about a minute left here in the first half. It's going to be play action. Fields once again scrambling and sacked off the edge. An injury, though, for Laramie Tunsil. It's another one that doesn't look all too serious. He'll head to the bench for further evaluation with a 3rd and 13. Honestly, at this point, might just hold him out until the after halftime. As that pass tipped away, they had Derrick Henry. Just needed that ball to be a little bit higher. Fields has overthrown several passes today. Needed that one to almost be the same. Could have been a touchdown. Instead, punting away. About 50 seconds and counting on the clock. We're going to have a bit of a return here, though it's not a great one. Up to the 32. We have 3 timeouts, 48 seconds. So let's jump out here with the offense, run a drive here, see if we can find ourselves a late half touchdown. With a throw to the outside, we're going to have Trey McBride stepping up and out of bounds just past the midfield line. Murray's been pretty accurate today, going to need that as we try to wrap up here. We got a couple different options there, just none of them quite seem right. We're instead just going to step up here with Murray, picking up the first down to the 36. Again, we still have all 3 timeouts, and we're back to about field goal range here. We're going to go with some play action, send some guys deep, see if we find a nice pop shot. Across the middle, that pass a little bit too tall for Mims. Needed that to be a little bit shorter. Seems like both quarterbacks having a little bit of problems with placement today. As Tyron Johnson comes out to this left-hand side, I like the route. We'll see how they line up against it. He has the underneath. And a good catch down to the 16. Holding on to it down at the sideline. Now with 25 seconds, still 3 timeouts. Let's change it up, go with a run play here. See if we can catch them off guard, though that is not the case. Calling one of those timeouts there. So with 22 seconds, we have a 2nd and 11. As we have our guy Mims. Can't hold on to it, though. Tipped away at the last possible second. Good placement, though, from Kyler. And if we don't get the first down here, might have to settle for that field goal before half. Do like Mims' route. We also have Pringle going to the outside. I mean, some good combinations here. Though they cover him pretty well as we roll. We're going to have our guy across the middle. It's Chenault Jr. with the spinning touchdown grab. Kyler throwing it a little bit behind his receiver, keeping him open as we will widen our lead here at half. And from there, we'll start to jump through this one a little bit quicker as we have a 14-point lead hitting halftime, score 17-3. As the second half begins, it will be Raiders offense out first with a 3rd and 1. They've definitely picked that up. 25 yards, Michael Thomas into plus territory. 13 more to Michael Thomas with a first down. Henry down inside the red zone. Another first down from Henry inside the 15 now to about the 10. 2nd and 6, they pick up 4. 3rd and 2, A touchdown to Chigakonkwo. Puts them on the board, their first touchdown of the game, making it a 7-point game. With about halfway through the third quarter as the offense comes out for their first second half possession. Steady running here from Gray, though we do not convert on third. So we'll punt away. It's a good punt. Raiders backed up to, well, it was around their 20. As they get 2 yards, then 7. Another third and short. Why did it bring up a kickoff thing there? Madden, just clean yourself up a little bit. A penalty on Chigakonkwo. 3rd and 6 instead, but no problem. Parker picking up 20. As they do get past the midfield marker. Another short down and distance here, which they convert. Derrick Henry running pretty well so far today. Field scrambles for 1. Then a catch. Nick Bodden, the fullback, getting involved. And an interception. Josh Hayes will take over. As we've pretty much gone through the entire third quarter here, or have gone through the entire third quarter without watching much. As it's 3rd and 12, we do pick up 8 as we hit the 4th. Considered going for it, but probably a better idea to punt, as it would if we didn't convert, put them in good scoring position. Algier picks up 8. That's a good combo there at running back. Tyler Lacey with a sack. Some of these young guys making some big plays here as we give up 6 on 3rd and 5. So what, if they get past midfield, we're going to jump in. Watch some defense here as it's 3rd and 1 and Davis Price converts. I really like their running back group. It's a good, solid group. As Hayes knocks it away, 2nd and 10. That'll send us in, but let's get through the 3rd down here, which they convert. So with about 5.5 minutes left in this one, Raiders trying to level this game up. Currently down 17-10 as they motion in their receivers slightly, make it a stacked look. Hand it off Henry. Cuts up right down the middle. Breaks the first contact for getting his legs chopped out. Gain of 7. Henry nearing 100 yards. Just needs 4 more rushing yards. As they'll drop under center with a tight look. Will be a pass. Right across the middle. First down catch. Going to Michael Thomas. His 4th catch of the game. 57. I feel like he would have had more yards. He had some big chunk plays here and there. With a stretch, no cut down towards the middle, and goes nowhere. Defense reads it that time. He's now going to need 5 yards. But he will not be getting it, most likely, on this play. As they spread empty, Henry all the way up top. Fields dumping it off, and it is a catch. A short gain, about 3 yards there. 5th catch for Evans, 42 yards, or 52 yards. Very similar stat line between him and Michael Thomas. As Fields from the pocket trying to bounce, does not get to the outside. Defense swallows it up, split that sack from Winfrey, and I believe Gibson there as well. So 4th and 12, they settle for the field goal. Back close to the 40, about a 50-yarder. This one is up, has the power, and the accuracy sends it right through the middle. He missed one earlier that would leave him only a point behind. And as the offense heads out, their chance to put this game away. We start up at the 32. Kyler Murray from the pocket throwing. Chenault with the catch. We'll pick up 6 play 1. Murray 14 of 21, 134 yards and a touchdown on the day. Not too bad. Nothing too splashy either. We don't need splashy. As we're using the 49ers playbook, we know that as long as we just get some accurate passes, this offense can move very smoothly. As Murray, though, going to scramble towards the top, will slide down, giving himself up prior to the first as we hit the 2-minute warning. And honestly, I like that move. Leave it 3rd and short. An opportunity to run some more clock. And if we get the first down, would be really good as Gray fights through for that first down. Timeout starting to be called by the Raiders. They have 2 remaining. As we have a heavy set, all of our tight ends out there, though we run it to the weak side with space for Gray, a first down, 2nd timeout called. That honestly might have just sealed this one up. With a 1st and 10, we go back to Gray, fighting for some extra yards through every bit of contact. He picks up 3, final timeout called. We just need to run some clock here. As we have 2 tight ends out, McBride in motion to about that fullback spot, help lead the way for the young running back. And picks up a good block there from 73, picks up another few yards, leaving 3rd and short. So we didn't quite seal the game up earlier, but we could do it here on 3rd and 3. as we let the clock run, play clock down to 2. We hand it off. Gray pushes forward, first down. That should do it. The young rookie running back helped put this game away. So as the last few seconds tick off the clock here, Season 1 comes to an end. And it wasn't too bad of a season, 8-9. We were close to making the playoffs, just needed a couple games to go our way. Whether that was other teams losing or us winning some. All in all, it's a really solid building block moving forward. But overall, I feel like that was a really solid Season 1. It did not answer the ultimate question at the start of this series with a yes, and that being, can an offense alone win you a championship, the Super Bowl? And no. So we're definitely going to need to focus a bit more on the defense when it comes to the off-season portion of next episode. Now, as a reminder, if you guys were around for the latter part of the Virginia's States-Only Challenge, you know how this is going to go moving forward. And pretty much after Season 1, the regular season and the offseason, so the offseason then the regular season, as for timing, is all going to be included in one episode. That way we could potentially get to the playoffs sooner, right? So we could get through these state-only challenges a little bit quicker. So next episode will be not only just the offseason, but will also be the entirety of the regular season. So the episodes are probably going to be closer to the hour mark. I think these first two have been sub-hour. I want to say around 45-ish minutes. Though I'm saying that before editing it. I know the first one was around 45, so I imagine this one will be the same. But before we leave, let's just wrap it up by taking a look at the stats of Season 1. We had the 13th ranked offense. I feel like that's a little bit below where I expected. The defense was actually 5th, so the defense did better than expected, but we do need some help over on that side. Kyler Murray had 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. If we can make that 30-10, I think that would be solid. He had a little bit under 3,500 passing yards. He completed about 67% of his throws, and he was sacked 31 times. So about twice a game. Need to get that cleaned up. Mason Rudolph did not throw very many, 3 of which he completed 1. And it was 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So not his best while out there. Mixon over 1,000 yards, close to actually 1,200, 10 touchdowns, solid there. Murray didn't actually get a lot of scrambling touchdowns, just the 1. And he also had 1 fumble. P. Ryan as that second guy, I think could be fine. I did like what I saw there in Eric Gray in that last game. So potentially P. Ryan, if he just moves to a fullback spot, or who knows really what we're going to do exactly with P. Ryan, but solid backup for this running back group. I liked that group for sure. As for the receiving, Marvin Mims, the rookie, was just under, well, not only just under, he was close to 1,000. He was about 858, so not too bad. He was our number 1 receiver, had 68 catches, 11 touchdowns, led the team there. Chenault Jr. just a little bit behind there on just a couple less catches, though a few less touchdowns. He had 7. McBride, solid. I like McBride. Pringle had 4 touchdowns, but he really wasn't a main stake for the passing game. And I would like to see if Preston Williams, one, if he could stay healthy, if he could do better at that outside receiver spot. We also saw a little bit from Joe Mixon there, not as much using the 49ers playbook. I expected to see a little bit, not exactly Christian McCaffrey stats, but more similar. See a little bit more receptions going his way, just 26. But all in all, I think the offense wasn't all too bad. As for sacks given up, Lane Johnson gave up 12, which is a little bit surprising. Humphrey 6, it's fine. Bakhtiari 5, fine by me. Trent Williams did well. Lucas, though, did not do very well, and about 200 snaps did give up 3 sacks, so that's not great. But the second-year guard in Tyler Smith actually performed really well, just 1 sack given up, so that is great to see. As for the defense, Kenneth Murray Jr., 124 tackles, should be a Pro Bowl season for him. He had 7 tackles for a loss. Did that lead us? No, that was about half of what our leader did in Emmanuel Ogbah with 14. Gibson had 11, so the fact that he only was a starter in the nickel and not in any base packages, he still had a tremendous season. So that is awesome to see. Phillips did well in helping to stop the run. He had 9. As for our sack leader, it was Gibson with the 10. Okoronkwo 7.5, Ogbah 6, 5.5 for Phillips. I think that is pretty solid for a defensive line. Interception-wise, Kenneth Murray led us there, so definitely a Pro Bowl season for him. 3, Flowers had 2, and then a bunch of guys had 1. So all in all, defense did better than expected. Need to see better from Mason Crosby. If he sticks around, he could retire moving into his 17th season. Just 68% completed, so not great there at the very end, but all in all, I think the defense did pretty well. Definite things we need to improve. We also have some older guys, the offensive line. We'll see what happens. Definitely expect some regression, potentially some retirees as well, and we're going to have to fill those voids as best as possible. So we'll see what happens all next time out. So make sure you stick around, hit that bell icon on the bottom right, or scroll down, hit the subscription button. It's free to continue to follow along this channel. Definitely make sure you hit that bell icon so that way you don't find of when these videos go live. This series posted every single Wednesday and Saturday. We also have the Rams traditional franchise where we watch every game. That one's out every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So 6 full-length videos every single week, plus all the highlights, the shorts, highlighting everything in these videos. So a whole bunch of content. Also stuff popping up on the community tab, so stay tuned for that one as well. And until next time, where we have Season 2 of the Central Plains States Only Challenge. We'll see you then. Bye.
How it's supposed to feel.